Clearly we're super disappointed. Couldn't be more proud of our guys. They played their hearts out. We can execute a little bit better. We can make some better decisions, and we can come up with some bigger plays. But I thought the guys played really hard, and they were composed, and they were aggressive, and they wanted to run into pressure. I'm super proud with them, and congratulations, Gonzaga. They made the plays they had to down the stretch to win, and so we'll move forward, and we got a huge game Saturday. I'll take any questions.
Coach, what was the final sequence? Can you just kind of take us through that, what your options were, and kind of?
Yeah, we were trying to go a goal game, and we were hoping to actually, hoping to put the ball in a different spot. And Spence made a really nice adjustment and tried to get to it, and just made a decision to turn down the go and to use the ball screen. And they jumped it really well, and they did a nice job and got a deflection. And at that point, we're in a little bit of a scramble with time and no timeouts left. And it was a terrific defensive play by Watson, who's a terrific defender. And so it was late game, play exactly like you'd want it defensively.
What's causing issues for this team against the press in late game situations?
Just new and young, and we had clearly a couple wildly costly turnovers, and that is, we're trying to learn to run to body instead of run to space, and that's getting us a little bit of trouble, and we get a little sped up, and right now we're, it's a learning process, and in those moments, guys are carrying the weight of everything that's happened over the last 40 minutes and everything that they're thinking about could happen, and it's just a little bit easy to get distractible and to get distracted, and we have done that, and it's a space where we'll continue to grow and get better.
Spencer, you guys were up 10 kind of later in the second half, and then things turned around from there. From your perspective on the court, what kind of transpired that kind of made things go Gonzaga's way?
Man, it was all a blur, honestly. Well, they scored really well in transition, which they did all night. I think we might have had a turnover or two. We might have missed a rebound or a defensive assignment, and that's kind of what did it, I think.
Spencer, once you get past the disappointment of the loss, what do you take from this as a team?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it hurts for sure. Like, we were right there, and we put ourselves in a really good position to win the game. We just, couldn't quite come through. But, life and basketball never really ask you what happened. They just ask you how you're going to respond and what you're going to do to make it better and to move on and to get better. So we're going to come tomorrow, and we're going to work, and we're going to, stay together, and we're going to, fix what we need to fix, and we're going to act like pros about it, and we're going to move on to the next game.
Spence, what was working so well from the three-point line in that second half? You and Jackson in particular, you guys had 8 3-pointers, I think, after the break.
Yeah.
Something schematically, or?
We were getting them also in transition. We were pushing the ball down the floor really hard, and it was forcing them into rotations, and guys did a really good job of finding the open man, and Jax had some huge shots, and so that's what that was.
Coach, considering the competition, the level of competition, this is probably the best overall offensive game you guys have had, and I'm wondering, what does that kind of tell you about the future of this team this season and how they can perform?
Well, these guys continue to get better, I think they're hungry to get better, and they've been incredibly committed to growing as a team and trying to get better, and they're doing that. We're finding ways to function a little bit better. We're a little bit better for the most part, just accepting the simple play instead of trying to make too much, and we were good with the extra pass tonight. And we took a step backwards. We took a huge step backwards on the glass, and we haven't been abused on the glass like that all season long. And that's a major issue for us that, has been a strength, and it's got to be a strength for us in these big games. But that's also part of the growing process too, is you take some punches and the things that you do well. And so, you know, it's growing is messy and ugly and painful, and but it's also exhilarating and inspiring and fun. And this group is trying to grow. You know, we have 48 hours until we have a massive challenge on Saturday to see if we can keep growing. So it's you know, the good that's coming out of the season so far is 100% due to these guys' willingness and commitment to grow and get better.
Coach, if you were to shoot the three as well, if you were to have told somebody you were shoot the three as well as you did coming into this game today, would you have thought you would have won it?
Well, yeah, I mean, we made a trade. I mean, we shot the ball well and we couldn't rebound the ball. You know, I mean, we gave 17 offensive rebounds, and that's just brutal. And we didn't guard well from two at all. We got lost in transition a little bit. So, you know, the game is always it's never a one slice affair, right? It's all the pieces of the game, and that's why it's really messy growing. If it was just one thing that you had to get better at, you know, it would be real easy to stabilize. But it's always trade-offs, and so that's why you kind of grow in fits and starts, and you know, I do believe that we think we can get much better. And so the challenge for us is, do we have the juice and determination to, you know, now 20 games into the season to get up tomorrow and come in just starving and hungry to keep getting better. And if we do, then, you know, this team still has some great basketball to be played.
Coach Spence, any number of you guys, you know, talked to Jackson, you know, after the game? I know that's probably a tough moment right there with the freedom and everything. Was there anything said to him afterwards, you know, when you guys went back in the locker room?
Yeah. The nice thing for Jax is that everybody on the court made substantial miscues in the last minute and 30 seconds, and so and including the coach on the bench, and so, you know, that's not a, you know, it's super important for us that we focus on the things that we're doing well and the things that we can get better at, and not spend a lot of time indulging in self-pity or feeling sorry for ourselves. It's a quick turnaround to a monster game on Saturday. So Jax knows that. Jax is a gamer and a baller, and he's learning to be a great teammate, and he was terrific tonight. And you know, it's going to hurt, and he's going to go back and forth like all of us are. You know, I mean, we could point out the same thing with every single guy that was on the court, literally in the last 90 seconds. So, you know, we just got to do this together. He knows that. All his guys are putting arms around him, and he's putting his arm around all the other guys too. That, you know, we had miscues down the stretch.
Question.
How big of a missed opportunity was this to help expedite that growth process in your program going forward?
Well, I don't like growing losing. You know, it's you know, I don't like growing that way. But when you're growing, you have to grow through losing sometimes. And so, you know, we'll see. I mean, that story remains to be written. You know, it's like Spence said. That's just a matter of how we respond. Is this game going to make us hungrier and tougher and better and smarter and more dialed into the importance of little things and more physical on the glass, or is it going to, you know, is it send us spiraling? And that's the question that every athlete gets to ask over and over and over again throughout a season. And we certainly get to ask that question now, but it definitely hurts us for sure. It's a painful loss.
Coach,
Last question.
Talk about Pepperdine and the matchup coming up on Saturday. Maxwell Lewis seems to be their best player. What kind of challenge do they pose coming off a loss?
They might be the best pure offensive team in this league, maybe by far. They're monsters. Like these young guys they're just straight ballers, and they just can score every way, at every level, every single guy on the court, and they're a problem. And, you know, in any given moment, in any given stretch, every single guy on there is just ridiculously dangerous, where you're like, there's a lot of times you're like, I don't know how to guard it. And so they're a dangerous group.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Richard.